looks if then you scorn to be in prison pent, if bonds, as high disgrace, your hands refuse, or if you're still to maintain or bent your liberty, as men of honor used to Antioch would have forthwith you went and leave me here your absence to excuse, there with Prince Bohemond live in ease and peace, until this storm of Godfrey's will forsoon, if forces come from Egypt land, or other nations that us here confine, Godfrey will beaten be with his own wand, and he wants that valor great of thine. Our camp may seem an arm without a hand, amid our troops unless thy eagle shine with that came Gelfo in those words approved, and prayed him go, if him he or loved. Li their speeches soften much the warrior's heart, and make his wilful at last relent, so that he yields, and saith he will depart, and leave the Christian camp incontinent his friends, whose love did never shrink or start, preferred their aid, what way soe'er he went he thanked them all, but left them all, besides 2 bold and trusty squires. And so he rides Lehe rides, revolving in his sprite such haughty as fill the glorious, on hard adventures was his whole delight, and now to under his axe's will inclined, against the pagans would he fight, and kill their kings from Egypt unto Ont, from Cynthia's hills and Nilus' unknown spring he would fetch praise and glorious conquest bring. Live but Gelfo, when the prince his leave had taken now had spurred his courser on his way, no longer tarriance with a would make, but to find Godfredo, if he may who him approaching, forthwith spake, Gelfo, quoth he, for thee I only stay, for thee I sent my heralds all about, in every tent to seek and find thee out. Live thee said, he softly drew the knight aside where none might, and then bespake him thus: how chanceth that thy nephew's rage and pride, makes him so far forget and us hardly could I believe what is betide, a murder done for cause so frivolous, how I have loved him, thou and all can tell, but Godfrey loved him but whilst he did well. We must provide that every one have right, that all be, each cause be well discussed, as far from partial love as free from spite, I complaints, yet naught but proves I trust. Now if Ronaldo weigh our rule too light, and have the sacred lore of war so brust, take you the charge that he before us come to clear and our upright dome LVI, but let him come withouten bond or chain, for still might do him grace are framed, but if our power he haply shall disdain, as well I his courage yet untamed, to bring him by persuasion take some else, if I prove severe, both you be blamed. That force my gentle nature gains my to rigor, lest our laws return to naught. Lve Lord Gelfo answered thus: what heart can bear such slanders false, devised by in spite or with stayed reproaches, and not revenge by battle or by fight? The Norway prince hath bought his folly dear, but who with words could stay the knight? A fool is he that comes to preach or prate when men with swords their right and wrong debate. Lvi and where you wish he should submit to the censure of your upright laws, alas, that cannot be, for he is fled out of this camp, withouten stay or pause. There take my gage, behold I offer it to him that first accused him in this cause, or any else that dare, and will maintain that for his pride the prince was justly slain. Lixi say with reason Lord Gernando's pride he hath abated, if he have offended gainst your commands, who are his lord and guide, O pardon him, that fault shall be amended. If he be gone, quoth Godfrey, let him ride and brawl elsewhere, here let all strife be ended, and you, Lord Gelfo, for your nephew's sake, breed us no new, nor quarrels old. Lx this while, the fair and false are made to strive to get her promised aid in sure possession, the day to end, with endless plaint she derived, beauty, craft for her made intercession. But when the earth was once of light deprived, and western seas Titan's hot impression, twixt 2 old knights, and matrons twain she went, where pitched was her fair and curious tent. Looks of it this false queen of craft and sly invention, whose looks, love's arrows were, whose eyes his quivers, whose beauty matchless, free from reprehension, a wonder left by heaven to after livers, among the Christian lord had bred contention who first should quench his flames in Cupid's rivers, while all her weapons and her darts rehearsed, had not Godfredo's constant bosom pierced. Lshido change his modest the dame procureth, and proffereth heaps of love's enticing treasure, but as the falcon newly gorged endureth her keeper lure her oft, but comes at leisure, so he, whom fullness of delight assureth with long repentance comes of love's short, her crafts, her arts, and all despiseth, so base affections fall, when riseth Lshi, and not 1 foot his steadfast foot was moved out of that heavenly path, wherein he paced, yet 1,000 whiles and 1,000 ways she proved, to have that castle fair of raised she used those looks and smiles that most behooved to melt the frost which his hard heart embraced, and gainst his breast 1,000 shots she ventured, yet was the fort so strong it was not entered. Looks of the dame who that one blink of her eye could make the chastest heart love sweet, oh, how her pride abated was hereby. When all her sleights were void, her crafts were vain, Some other where she would her forces try, where at more ease she might more vantage gain, as tired soldiers whom some fort keeps out, thence raise their siege, and spoil the towns about.